Quay. Morning, Reverend. Morning, Anaya. Morning, Dingo. It's 10:52 in the morning, and you just signed off. It's Wednesday, the 20th of May, 2026. Yeah, I got the bus budget here. Ed, I don't say it often enough, and I'm sorry I don't. I really appreciate your sermons. I may have some questions about it, and I'm grateful you guys keep an open mind, and I'm not going thermonuclear on you guys. It's only because of an ego, or probably a misunderstanding, or something that happens that makes contact, or either I'm requesting clarification from you, or trying to give you clarification from me of what I interpret. The words are simple enough. The problem is, the phrase that I've used all my life, and I sometimes I'm starting to use that in my own videos on my own YouTube channel, The Diary of a Griever named John Weaver, which is me. In simplicity, there is complexity, and in complexity, there is simplicity. And if that kind of throws you away, you try thinking about this stuff when you're a young kid or teenager looking at stuff like this, and it sounded simple or silly, or the most astonishing thing for people to hear because they're like, "What is that?" Okay, if I want to blow your mind, can I blow your mind? Blow up whatever hair you have left in the beard that you got. Think of it, the universe as a big head. In his head, in his disembodied head, which floats in an ether, blue-black or black-blue environment. And in his head is the shining energy of God, of his creations, of the universe, all wrapped up in his humanoid head. Kind of an image I got in my head. And it's limited because it seems to be limiting and limitless. It is a universe in a form of physics that even our human brains are having a conniption fit trying to figure out. All the love, all the joy, and even wars of disagreements, but of everything that would make God God. And I think about this one from time to time. And in such a complexity of his head, it's simple. He is God, this is his world, this is his universe, his creation. There's no other that he can think about. And yet beyond that, within his universe, it's limitless. It's without limit. There are multiple dimensions, multiple universes, time periods, all wrapped up in this cerebral web of his. Compare that to the human brain a little bit. How seemingly limitless and yet limited we are in our heads. Our brain only has so much capacity because of the thick skull, and yet we can still pack it in with more neurons throughout our lifetimes. But with our own limited mortality, they do fade. They do disintegrate. We do get issues with the brain. Yeah, I know, I hear you. We are capable, and yet limited. We talk about our faith and our religion as being limitless, but limited. We have a viewpoint of A science experiment, if I keep trying to tell people left and right, you have a crystal pyramid, four-sided. Shine white light in an angle, and you see the spectrum coming out. Our faith of one light coming in, they can label it whatever the hell it is, but of the one light coming in, and then you see the outcome. Or reverse that. Simplicity, complexity. Now, that being taken advantage, I don't think the people in the Middle East, unless they already had some science going on and trying to think about this stuff, or actually doing this stuff, would actually see something of a way of a process. Maybe God is trying to show us one way or another. In verbal language, in actions, Jesus can talk to listen to the simple, because the simple-minded, maybe they haven't demonstrated this, or maybe they have thought about it, but they are open for it. Or maybe there are some closed-minded over there because they want to see proof. They want to know, and maybe not kind of comprehend, because they're locked into one particular strand that are shown. But even if you happen to look at that particular strand, how many shades of that strand are there? When I hear you, I hear the simple gospel coming out. I hear your simple interpretations of what the Bible is. And you match up. When you start talking about Sermon on the Mount, and the other chapters of the Bible, New Testament, I haven't gotten across. But I should have. And I still need to do that. But I go for it for research. I look at it as a reference. I look at it as an encyclopedia. I open it up and I see something new. I see something that I have to re-examine and understand. Even the message of Saul converting into Paul. A mind blower. A conversion of one thing to another. Conversion of matter into energy, or energy into matter. Or a viewpoint in the head being changed. And I'm seeing people who are trying to keep focused on one particular strand, because that's it. That's all they know. They can't think about the great weave, about the great thing that is there. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it looks like. We have no idea the concept of it. We heard it. We've heard stories about it, but we haven't been able to experience it because our own limitation, our fear, our doubts, our egos, and everything else we draw upon the physical earth. And once we try to limit ourselves on that one, just even mentally trying to limit ourselves on that one, that we understand, maybe just a little bit, that whatever kind of weave it is, got an appointment coming up a few hours from now. We're okay right now. It's beyond. If I'm in the right mindset, if I'm in the right mood, I can try looking and understanding it. If you want to hear and really have your mind freaked and blown about this one, 2 movies I would have recommended. Space, 2001, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and in 2010, the year we made contact. Not the geopolitical, but what was going on back there. Arthur C. Clarke had a way of trying to show us science fiction, but also in a theology that we could understand. So what happens when I read too many bad books in my lifetime? I've absorbed a lot of authors out there to gain knowledge or to gain an insight of how they thought, but maybe expanding my own way of looking at things in life. And besides looking at the Bible, but I had to keep an open mind. So I was curious. My mama had an open mind. She was very intelligent. I don't know about my father. My father was supposed to be talented. I didn't inherit any one of his talents. I don't know what the hell he had. I wish I knew my biological sperm donor, so I could figure out what the hell I got from him instead of just his name. But it's my name. I am John Cameron Weaver. I have a middle name from my family lineage. I'm a Cameron. But I am John Weaver because that is my name I was christened, and that's the name I'm dying with. And I hold on to the Weaver name because that's the only thing I hold dearly to my heart. It's an ego thing, I know. I've got John. John's a pretty common name. John may be special, and it may be common. I don't hold it against people saying, "Oh, I'm John." You know, the problem is, I'm going to look at a whole bunch of Johns out there, many versions of John, and I'm going, I thought I was special. There goes the ego right there. I may be, and I may not be. And my mother's side and my brother's side, and also they both loved to kid me. Called me a changeling. Thought I was an alien. Well, maybe I am an alien. I just haven't poked out anything that's extraordinary. Except for my head. My love of space. Growing up, paleontology. Not much on the geology since it was shaking the hell of the crap out of me and scaring the crap out of me. But I started to learn how to study about the Earth and how weird it is. But it's an engine. Geology. It's about an engine. It's about a planetary engine at work. A lot of things about geology people are still trying to understand. I wish they could understand about her and her suffering at this point. Yeah, Wednesday I get to take her to the doctor again. Problem is, I almost had it today, but because of transportation situations, I've got Current Transit has set time for the drivers to go on lunch. And during that time is one of the time I needed to be over there. 2.5 hours sitting on my ass, watching people coming in and out, and having other minor services that I need a major service on. And I had to screw that damn thing up. Well, this time I got to get it fixed again. But I've got an afternoon appointment for her next Wednesday, hopefully, to God, because I want her taken care of. I want those ears taken care of, and she'll be driving me crazy all week. More than that. I gotta take care of her. Much like one way or another, God's trying to take care of me. In hearing your lessons, in hearing the things that you're discovering, one way or another, our human foibles, our actions towards others, is simplicity that Christ said, we don't know what the hell we're doing. If I want to put it into a paraphrasing here, it's like, God, understand this. They have zero clue what the hell they're doing here. Forgive them, Lord. They're out of their minds. It reminds me of some work I got to do on my story again. Destiny's journals and stuff I sent over to you. I got to redraft. There may be different color shades of Jesus in different universes, or just maybe one. But to me, Jesus was all light, as much as God, but put him in mortal flesh. Yes, Mediterranean, it could be olive skinned, be darkened. It could have been black. A black Jesus, people would have a freak out about that one. European colonists and Europeans during those days kept thinking about a white Jesus. That's why we got taught with that one, with the image all the time, which got stuck in my head. But I never conceived the concept or the idea that in human-looking terms and mortality here on an old mortal earth, that he was olive-skinned, not white. Talking about pigmentation, if we're dealing with humanity here, because they had different light wavelengths in different portions of the earth, and people had to adapt to it. It took them generations, but they adapted to it. In different forms and functions. If I happen to study Anthropology 101, which I probably will need to one of these 3 days, but I also studied about humanities, K through 12. It had a different wording for it, the damn thing. I can just remember what it was. Anyway. Social studies. Social studies, that's what they call them. And in elementary, between grades 1 through 6, they were talking about social studies. Concerning about humanity in different forms and functions. Different skins, different temperatures, different regions that they had to adapt to. It took them generations to build up. The differences that you see. Was God actually creating olive skin, or did he create white skin? I mean, it would be contentions on this one throughout the other lunatics out there who want to raise an ire and ego at this point, saying, Jesus was this, and people and Adam and Eve were this. God loves diversity, right? We could have an argument about this. Actually, we could have a hell of a discussion on this one. But that'd be taking up too much of your time. And I'm driving Anaya crazy at this point with all my blatherings and trying to figure things out. I get calm, I get quiet, I listen, I need it. And then my head goes off rocking and I'm going nuts. You're talking about things that are related to the musical group Rush. Surely, please, Reverend Ed, please deny you have heard of Rush. Growing up as a kid, yeah, in the 70s and 80s, I was listening to Rush on the radio. And then I was listening more Rush after that. No, soundtrack continuing, but still, I liked a few other pieces of music. But the compilation album that my brother had gotten, kept listening to that damn thing because it was mostly the top 40s. Didn't matter. It was the thing that you found in a jukebox and you play it and you're eating the pizza. By the way, pizza had in a limited spacings here and there in different states, or maybe just one state is starting up the experiment again of in-house dining. I'll talk about memories about this one in my next video. Make it public. But this is between us. So when I'm doing my videos with you, and then and everybody else on the other side, I'm just wanted to share it privately somewhat. When I do it publicly, then I'm doing the public stuff out there. If I'm going to be sharing something intimate with you, that's got to be held as private as hell. So I have to keep it listed as unlisted. For this one, I just may do it as general. I hope it doesn't embarrass you or offend you. I try to be a follower of Jesus as best I can. I feel like I'm doubting Thomas sometimes, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it 100%. I'm screwing that damn thing up. I got my own internal drives that I still have to wrangle with, and sometimes they can be screwed up one way or another. But I got to admit that to you. And I still have to admit that to God and Jesus, and I'm probably embarrassing the living crap out of them, especially when I keep doing it. Some behaviors I grew up with. I just wish I hadn't, but yeah. Maybe I always made this way. I gotta accept that, or find a way to change it. But let me do the next video, because we'll be talking as well. And regarding what you were talking about, the church and conversions, people and the food, let's talk about that one, shall we? Because that one's definitely got to go public. That being said, the Maltese.